Hi there, this is ArtsyWisdom. My name is Diane. Thank you for coming by and welcome. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to look into each sign for December. The full moon coming up in Gemini on the 4th, and then the new moon in Sagittarius on the 19th. And so that's an axis. So I was just going to tell you through each sign real quickly and something different than I normally do. So for Cancer, I'm looking at my chart, so that's why if I look down, that's what I'm doing. For Cancer, this axis is in your 6th and your 12th house. So this full moon, there might be some unearthing, emotions are peaking when we have a full moon. Babies are born, things are amped up. It's kind of a frenzy a little bit. The full moon falls into your 12th house. So you might find some inner stuff kicks in. You're like, that thing you haven't dealt with in a while. But when the new moon comes up in the 19th, the sun and the moon are conjoined, and that's the area of your life where it's about healing, health, day-to-day work as well, pets. It's a Virgo house, details, and tending to details. For you, it's in Sagittarius, so that may mean you are going to find some new way to expand yourself. This full moon may give you a trigger and you're like, okay, I need to work on that, fix it, or attend to it. Or it could just be, I can't deal with that. And when the new moon comes along, you're like, all right, I'm going to focus on work. And maybe there's some other information that's going to come up before the new moon for you to start over. That's what the new moon is great about doing, is starting over, making plans for the future. The culmination for you will be in your 12th house of hidden things that maybe you don't even tell yourself. But then ultimately, when the full moon on the 19th comes along, it's going to be helpful for you to start over. Because I like that it's in the healing sector. And I would say trust your instinct here. Cancer, you're very sensitive. I would trust your instinct about doing that. Okay. All right, Leo, for you, the axis of this full moon and the new moon later in the month is in your 11th house of friends, is the full moon. You might find very good times with friends, your community. Maybe there's parties. That makes total sense. There'd be a party this weekend. It's the 4th, it's peak. Doesn't mean it has to be exactly on that day, but definitely could be part of your activities on that day. And then the axis, the new moon, is in your 5th house of relationships, kids, or new, like love relationships, new excitement, romantic stuff, kids, creativity. It's the Leo house. It's your house. So this area of your chart, if you have a Leo ascendant, it would mean that you are going to maybe find somebody in this party time, or you're going to feel really lucky. It feels really nice for a new moon to be there in Sagittarius for you. You might find that you take some risks, you get playful, you have creative times where you can do some stuff. It's very artistic there too. You might feel more flamboyant when this new moon comes. So whatever happens at this maybe community event, friendship event, getting together, also could really be related to charity. It's in Gemini, so it might be that you have two different things going on. And then on the 19th, this new moon helps you sort that out, but really gets you inspired. I have a sense for Sagittarius. The sun is in Sagittarius and the moon will be in Sagittarius at the 19th of December. Maybe getting you inspired, because that's another fire sign. That's an area of, for you to maybe think about traveling and going to another culture or exploring that. That's starting on the 19th. Okay. Hopefully that's something that you can tell me about later if that worked out for you. All right, this full moon on the 4th and the new moon on the 19th for our Virgo friends is affecting, or highlighting, I should say, your career and your home life. This full moon might be, this full moon in Gemini might really activate your career, your reputation. You might get highlighted. You might find that there's 2 jobs to pick between because it's in Gemini, but your midheaven's ruled by Gemini generally on the general chart. So you might find that you're going to be elevated to a point of get some, light shining on you. And for Virgos, that's really cool because a lot of times you guys stay in the background. maybe you're applying for a job or something, that would be a really good time. Now, the new moon on the 19th is going to bring your home family into play. That's going to be a start over, a new beginning. It's a great time to, it's in Sagittarius, this new moon, and it's a great time. Maybe you want to move, maybe you want to bring your mother over from another country or something. There's also expansion, and maybe you get this job and you say, well, we're going to remodel the house. Sometimes it just makes you feel more optimistic because it's in Sagittarius, this new moon, and it's about home. So there may be some expansive energy at home. And Sagittarius is also, like I said, traveling, other cultures, spirituality. It could be there's a possibility of bringing into your home a sense of spirituality or big picture, abstract thinking, bringing that home and making your home more of a calmer, philosophical place, but in the most beneficial way as possible. So that's for Virgo. All right, our Libras, the full moon on the December 4th, which is the cold moon and super moon. It's the last one of the year. And then on the 19th is our new moon in Sagittarius. The full moon is in Gemini, and it falls into your 9th house. Because it's in Gemini, that's a nice trine to the other air signs, which you are one, and it in Aquarius, but it's going to highlight the area of your chart, which is about travel, higher learning, spirituality, expansion, publishing, internet stuff. So this, if you're interested in traveling, this would be, maybe you are going to be traveling, and this would be the time where that would be highlighted. It also could be you find some satisfaction, emotional satisfaction. It comes to a peak. Maybe you're taking classes or you're thinking about taking classes, and that wisdom kind of comes to play. I feel like, and it's in Gemini, so it's two, right? The twins. So it's two different things. So the way this could work is you might have two ideas that are conflicting, or two ideas in a, like you're taking a class or you're learning about something and you're trying to work that out. But it is in a full moon, so it may be, it's going to shine a light. That moon is very bright. It's a super moon. It's going to shine a light on that area of your chart. Maybe you decide you want to go to school, but on the 19th is when I might consider doing that. That's in Sagittarius on the 19th. And that new moon would be perfect for you to start doing that or planning that. So this full moon is kind of an exploration, shining a light. And the new moon is when you commit, possibly, this isn't for everybody, but that new moon also could mean your community expands, your neighborhood, your day-to-day activities, your writing. Maybe you're into writing. Also, this could be something about publishing. This axis is about learning and publishing and writing, communicating. So the Sagittarius new moon could be helping you communicate better and expand your thinking too. It's about thinking and processing. So pretty exciting for you Librans. All right, for my Scorpio friends, the full moon on December 4th is in Gemini. It's the super moon. It's the last one of the year, and it's the axis of the full moon and the new moon later in the month on December 19th is in your Gemini Sagittarius axis. So for you, this Gemini moon, this full moon, is going to shine a light in your 8th house of intimacy, sexuality, other people's money, inheritances, taxes, that kind of stuff. It may shine a light on, Gemini is about talking. So this full moon may be an expansiveness about talking about your innermost self, because you're a Scorpio and the 8th house is your house. So it may shine a light on that part of you that you're comfortable with, that innermost part of you that sometimes you don't share to everybody. So that might be nice that you've been, it's going to be a peak of that time, perhaps, that you're ready to talk about it. That's on the 4th. Now on the 19th, when the new moon comes along in Sagittarius in your 2nd house, it also could mean you feel better about yourself. You could start this regimen where you feel like you're taking your needs more seriously, You're taking your values, your self-value more seriously. Also money, it's related to money. So with the new moon in Sagittarius in your second house, it could really highlight you working on something to start making more money. Jupiter, well, Sagittarius is Jupiter ruled, so Jupiter is really beneficial. So it may feel like very expansive and you're like, I need to do a bunch of different things to try and make myself more secure. Also, you know, that full moon on the 4th also may highlight some funds with other people that are not there, and you may be talking about that. So when that new moon comes along, you're like, all right, let's figure this out. And that's in 2 weeks. So yours is more about resources, intimacy, my self-value, and money. My money, your money, starting over on the 19th, but on the 4th, it's more about, I'm going to really chat about it and talk about it and pay attention to it. And, you know, do some, it could be about taxes too. You find that you got to pay all these taxes. So at the new moon, you're like, all right, let's put some money aside. Could be something like that too. But this is a general thing. So everybody's different. So Sagittarians, this full moon in Gemini is going to, in December 4th, it's a full moon, the big super moon, it's called the cold moon, is going to fall in your 7th house. And then the new moon in Sagittarius, opposite that, on December 19th, is going to fall in your 1st house, which is you and your personality and your personal energy. So the full moon is going to shine a light on your partnership, romantic or business. It may come to a peak. There may be something going on. And it could be positive. It doesn't have to be negative. It could mean you feel really good and you make plans to do things with each other, or you had made plans a couple weeks ago and now you're enjoying each other's company. You're doing a lot of activities because Gemini is all about socialization and talking and communicating. It also could mean you decide to communicate more, or it's been working out. So it feels really positive. Plus, this new moon in Sagittarius is also going to, on the 19th, help you to start, your personality is going to be shining through during that prior to that a little bit, a few days, and after for a couple of weeks. That new moon is a new version of yourself, perhaps. Maybe you like yourself, you don't want to make any changes, but it makes you feel very positive. When this moon is in the sign, I think it makes a person feel positive. So that new moon is in Sag, it'll help you feel the Sagittarian part of yourself. So perhaps the the adventurist, the person who loves traveling, different cultures, expansive thinking. It may pique your interest to make a change or to try new things and just start that. On the new moon, it's a perfect time to do that because it's the Christmas holidays or the holidays, whatever those are. It may make you feel like you want to bring more people into your home that that you wouldn't normally do because you're being open to bigger cultures or wider arms, bringing everybody in. So that's really cool. But yeah, yourself, your personality, who you are. Also, the new moon is about, or the 1st house is about it may be a start of a diet, or it could be a start of a physical activity because it's also about how you look. But I think it's all really expansive and beautiful. All right. Hello, my Capricorn friends. December has a full moon on December 4th, a big super moon, a cold moon, and then the new moon is in Sagittarius on the 19th of December. It's our last new moon of the year and last full moon. This falls for you in your 6th and your 12th house, this axis. So the full moon shines a light in this Gemini area for work, day-to-day work, not career, but day-to-day work, health, diet, pets. It's a Virgo house, looking at details, behind the scenes kind of stuff. For you, it's going to shine a light on perhaps maybe you're doing too much and you might have to rein it back a little bit because it's a full moon. There's a lot of amped up energy. There's a climax, there's a peak, and it's in Gemini. So it may be also that you have 2 jobs and you're like, I can't do this anymore. It's way too much. And this also is stressing your body. Not everybody has that issue, but It also could mean you decide to get 2 animals or something like that. Or you have 2 animals and it feels really good though. It doesn't feel bad. It feels like there's a lot of activity, Gemini there with this full moon, and it feels really positive. Going out outside at night, for some reason, I see you looking at the moon, all my Capricorn friends. uh, and then the axis is in the 12th house. So this new moon in the 12th in Sagittarius is for a great time for you to start something fresh and new and expansive, because Sagittarius is about expansion, but it's also about travel, higher thinking, abstract thinking, spirituality. So for you, for exploring your inner world, your things you kind of hide, as a Capricorn, you may keep more things in. So the Sagittarius might open that up a little bit if you're interested in doing that. It also could mean maybe for a few of you, you've got some issues with, I don't know, say addiction or some kind of issues, then you get help, because 12th house is about addiction and having problems with too much, because Sagittarius. So it may be the time you're like, all right, this is the time I'm done. So the new moon may give you that push because it feels really lucky and beneficial. So you may feel positive as you do that, but not everybody, obviously. Otherwise, it just feels good to like explore that side of yourself. That's feels really nice, and maybe do some meditation. That sounds really good too for all my Capricorn friends. Okay, for our Sagittarian friends, I have an Aquarian. No, I said Sagittarian. I meant Aquarian. Aquarius Ascendant. This axis, this super moon, this full moon is in Gemini. It's on the 4th, and it's later on the 4th, and it's going to fall into your 5th house. And then it will, the new moon in Sagittarius is going to fall in your 11th house. So full moon shines a light on things. It's a culmination. It's a peak. So for this month in December, this full moon, it'll be in your children. It'll be a lot of, it could be a couple different things. Your children are very active, obviously, this season, but there could be that you are having a child, or you can, Gemini's the house of twins. Not that everybody's having twins today, or that day, but just saying that's a possibility. And there's also love life. Moon in Gemini is like a lot of activity around, especially in this area of your life, creativity, fun, childlike feelings. It's the Leo house. It feels very active. I'm sorry, it's the Leo house, but this is in Gemini. So it feels like you might want to take some risks and see some people that you hadn't noticed before. Now, the new moon on the 19th in Sagittarius is the 11th house of friends, community associations, charitable people, groups, affiliations. So you might consider, then you might start and commit yourself, possibly, if you're interested in that, to community organization, a cause, also a group. Also, for you, it's the 11th house, and it's kind of like your house. So it's like, how can I help the greater good? How can I help humanity in the way I can, whatever little way I can. Like in our neighborhood, this is an example. Somebody created a Rubbermaid bin, and they turned it into a tiny food bank on the corner just in our neighborhood. It kind of feels like that. So I feel like you'll be drawn to do that at the new moon because of your sign, your Aquarius sign, and how you're thinking about the greater good and what the big picture is. But I think that would be a good time to stop. Plus, maybe this love life might make you take some chances on the full moon in a few days. All right, my Pisces friends. For you, the moon is the December 4th is our big super moon, our last full moon of the year, and it's on December 4th, and it falls into Gemini. And then the new moon is in Sagittarius on the 19th, and that falls into your 10th house. So the axis for you this month is between your home and your career and your reputation and being out in the world, and how people see you, basically, and what your reputation is. So that full moon in Gemini on the 4th for Pisces it's going to highlight, it's going to shine a light on, because it is such a bright supermoon. The energies are going to be a lot at home. It's going to be it feels like very busy at home. There's going to be a lot of comings and goings. Of course there is, because it may be the holiday season and you guys are going to be busy with things. But it feels very, very active. And as a Gemini, the Pisces in you it might mean where you need to take a break and go hide a little bit because it gets to be too much. But don't worry about it. And the new moon on the 19th is in your 10th house of career. So it could be a great time to expand your horizons with your career. If you're thinking about it, it's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is very beneficial and lucky. It makes you feel expansive. I wouldn't quit anything until you explore your options out there. But there will be a kind of a tension because of the square, but it feels like you're ready. It feels like I've been looking at doing this. I don't know. I know not all Pisces are doing this. So I have a sense that many Pisces are thinking, I got to make a change. And the Sagittarius new moon is really a positive one for you. It just may take some work, but at the same time, because it's a new moon, the energy is just really awesome for you to look into career. It doesn't mean you're going to finish. It just means you're going to start the process of looking. And it feels really good for you guys. And if that's what you're thinking about, good for you. It also could mean you might have more siblings at your house, or a lot of, besides activity, your family might be there quite often. Not in a bad way, just letting you know ahead of time. All right, my Aries friends, this December 2025 has a full moon, a super moon. It's the last one of the year on December 4th, and it's in Gemini. The new moon in Sagittarius on December 19th is, I'm going to tell you where it is in your chart. That axis for you falls in your third house of communication, of writing, of speaking, day-to-day activities like your local community, traveling, transportation, cars, etc. And because it's a full moon, you may find that you need two vehicles, and you might find that people come for a visit and you have to share, those vehicles. It also could mean your social life is really highlighted and picks up because the full moon shines a light on things. So it could be that everybody in the neighborhood's getting together and there's a big potluck, and it feels like it's very, very active because it's in Gemini and it's in the third house of community and neighborhoods, or your siblings, maybe they're coming over, they taking a lot of energy, but it feels really positive. It doesn't feel like a negative at all. Now, on the 19th, a Sagittarius new moon is when you're a good time to start over, or in certain things. For you, this falls in the 9th house of travel, internet, publishing, higher learning, college, that kind of stuff. It's also in the higher spiritual realms to discover abstract thoughts and that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, it feels like, I don't know why for you, of all the people, I feel like this is really because it's already in Sag, and the 9th house is about Sagittarius or Jupiter or higher learning. For you, I feel like it's going to put a really big emphasis on you exploring maybe your audit some classes or something at a community college, or learning about some angle of spirituality. But it feels really positive if that's what you're interested in. It also could be a time for you to publish, or to explore publishing, or start that, or look into what it takes to do that, because this is also about writing and publishing on a bigger level. So if those Aries people out there are interested in doing that, the 19th would be a good time to start looking into that. Even right before that, I think would be good for you guys. Okay, Taurus. Now, this full moon on December 4th is in Gemini, and that falls in your second house. The new moon will be in Sagittarius on December 19th. This full super moon it's very bright, and it's going to be in your second house of resources, what you value, money, tangible assets, that kind of stuff. And because it's in Gemini, you might find, because it's a full moon, you might have some expansion there because the light is shining on it, but it also might make you realize you might need to have another job. It might make you, because it's in Gemini, you're like, one isn't cutting it. I gotta maybe pick up a side gig or something. Taurians love to have security, so it makes sense that you might think that way. That's in the full moon. So highlighting that area of your chart. It also might make you, because it's a full moon, it might make you just maybe just see it more, like maybe look at your bank account or something like that, or pay attention to it more. Maybe that's all it is. And now the new moon is in Sagittarius in your 8th house of other people's money. And this is a great time to start. New moons are always about starting over. The 19th for you, it's in Sagittarius. And so that is the area that's expansive. It's ruled by Jupiter. So this would be, if you're looking to apply for a grant, if you're looking to start paying off your taxes, because that's the area of taxes, government assistance, government money, getting other people, funding inheritance, all those things to start anew. This would be a great time for you to do that because it's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius tends to be lucky because it's ruled by Jupiter. It's very expansive and assumes the best. But it's also, it may be, in a weird way, related to religion or spirituality or higher learning, where your school maybe you're applying for school grants as well, not just grants for a business. So that's really interesting. And I know with Taurus, you guys, like I said, like your security. So that's where your focus is for December. Well, good luck, Taurus. Okay, for Gemini, this super moon, the last one of the year, is on December 4th, and it's in your sign. And then the new moon is in Sagittarius, opposite of you, on the 19th in Sagittarius. I said that already. For you, this is really going to highlight personal areas of yours. For your person, your identity, your personality, this full moon is going to shine because it's a big full super moon in your sign. You might find that people notice you more. You might find that you're a little bit more outgoing, more social, but Geminis generally are. And so that's the full moon here on the 4th. And it'd be a good time for you if you need a little extra boost, or maybe you want to show off a little bit even. I think that might be a good time to do that if you're feeling so inclined. And now at the new moon at the end of the 19th of December, it's going to be in your 7th house of partnerships, committed relationships, business or romantic. So it's going to be highlighting that. Now it's in Sagittarius, which is about expansion because it's Jupiter related or ruled by, and it's also about other cultures. It's about learning, higher learning. So you might find you're attracted, or maybe a partner or whoever is from another culture, another ethnicity, or somebody around, you reach out to somebody in another location around the world, something like that. It's also, you're just attracted to that. You may find that, oh, maybe I am attracted to more unusual people that are not in my typical worldview. Maybe there's somebody else out there that maybe if you're looking for somebody, that's a new moon. So maybe this could be a start of something. It's possible. Not for everybody's looking for anybody, but it also, Jupiter makes us expand what we have. So you might have your relationship. This new moon in Sagittarius might make you and your partner, maybe you want to go travel. And this would be a good time to start planning that. So there you go, Gemini. And that's it. You guys have a wonderful December. I know there's a lot of stress during this month for a variety of reasons. And I wish you well. Everything is beautiful, right? Take care till next time.